Yo, welcome to another episode of Under the Surface, a talk show where we talk all things Bazaar. As it turns out, me and Blake have mystical powers that compel Tempo Team to do our bidding. We have talked about a lot of issues in the past episodes, and many of the things we have proposed were implemented. So let's review what happened and make a couple of suggestions in the process. Join us for the secret council of shadow government of the Bazaar, and let's dive under the surface. So yeah, as you can hear, I'm a bit sick. I'm recovering, but I still sound as if I have been smoking for the past 20 years. So excuse my voice. We noticed that it seemed kinda strange that whatever we have been talking about, it seems that those things were changed or have been addressed. We've been complaining about the game for the past 3 to 4 months now. It seems like we have some strange magic force that affects the Bazaar. Whatever we talk about on this podcast, on this talk show, turns into reality. So we have a couple of points. So for example, in one of our challenge videos, we sort of made fun of isocoric freezer. I think you remember that situation.
Yeah, that item was terrible. 7-second cooldown for I can't remember what it did, 1 second freeze or something.
Yeah, something like that. And we made fun of it because it was literally worse than coolant, and coolant isn't that great. Well, now it's down to 4 seconds in terms of cooldown, and it freezes for 2 seconds at silver tier. Yeah, it's usable now, so good
That's
for
something.
yeah. But regarding freezing in general, we made a whole video regarding freezing, and we noticed that there are no counters in terms of this mechanic, and right now rapid thaw seems to be more common. First of all, you can get it in your level up rewards, and also I think it has been buffed. I think it removes more freeze, but I'm not 100% sure.
And yeah, I think it does too. I was also going to say, it was only a monster skill before, right? And now it's just a silver skill, so I see it in a lot of my runs, and it's kind of an insta-pick.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I guess this has been addressed as well. It's more easily accessible if you actually want that in your build. Also, many items have shorter freezes, and also many items have had their targets reduced. So instead of freezing 2 or 3 items, they only freeze 1. Yeah, that also happened. Curious.
Just a mention on the freeze here. I think something that happened, I think freeze is in a better place now. We talked about a whole episode. You can go watch it about our problems with freeze, but it's in a better place now. But the infinite combos kind of make it still oppressive because, you can infinite combo a freeze item and then everything's frozen on the board. But
I mean, it's I wouldn't call it oppressive, but they balance each other to some degree. But as we have seen today, you can still win against freezing. Yeah, I'm going to put that on the screen because that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was something.
What do you think about monster loot changes and how we have affected that?
Some of the things we're going to talk about here, we were the only people I saw complain about it. Monster loot was ridiculous last patch, and my thoughts were they would just give you less of it or not make it cost money or something to that effect. The way they've done monster loot is a million times better than I ever could have hoped and dreamed for. Because now, in case you don't know, or in case it's changed since you're watching this, you go in, you get a monster loot event, right? And then you go in and then you pick from a pool of, I don't know how many there are, but quite a few options.
5. I think you are talking about Monster Ranch.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but that's not the only way to get monster loot, just to be clear.
sure. Yeah. Level up rewards. That's one of the opportunities. I don't know how I feel about it there. I have mixed opinions on that because I don't know. Level up reward discussion's a whole other thing, but
True.
yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, we have complained that monster loot is too common, too easily accessible. Everybody has a lot of it. So, I mean, we've been getting a lot of gold from that source on one hand, and on the other, there were we were getting a lot of stats from that. So, sticking to one item and just buffing it over and over again was like main strategy a patch ago. Now, getting monster loot is more of a rare event, let's call it, instead of a common occurrence, right? And also, monster loot has been generally nerfed across the board, and I think the main victims of those nerfs were like I think that's called cinders, and poison, which are extracts. They were like nerfed just -1 across all tiers. Apparently, it's not as common to simply get a lot of monster loot and build a tall item. So yeah, I mean, I like that change. And you mentioned level up rewards. You can sometimes get like an item from a level up, then a 2 gold plus monster loot, and then some gold based on some requirement. Let's say you have weapons, friends, tools, things like that. I usually take monster loot whenever I'm near the end of the run and I'm fairly certain that I'm not going to switch out my items. Whenever I'm set on the things that I have on my board, then I would like to get a monster loot card, right? A monster loot item, especially if they are offered at gold or diamond tier, because you can get actually good things from that. Let's say +15 or +20 critical chance can get you a lot, especially if you have some critical chance on one of your items already, or let's say you can get a couple points of experience, or if you roll a feather or an insect wing, I think you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, or you're running like a burn build and then you get like scrap. That happens to me a lot.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we have to acknowledge that this particular option is sort of bugged, and sometimes you won't get the monster loot and you get this sad little 2 pieces of gold. And yeah, then you go and cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah, it feels like it happens pretty frequently. Like enough that sometimes I don't choose the monster loot because I remember the last time I got scammed. But
Yeah, I've been scammed a couple of times now.
there's one more way to get monster loot, and sometimes there's just an additional like free option that gives you like 1 cinder or
Oh yeah,
1 extract.
yeah, but
So-
I never choose those.
Yeah, very rarely do I choose them.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Moving forward, like skills have been reworked, and we have been rather vocal regarding the skills and how they are not at all equal in power. Some were build defining, and I guess some still are, as we have like Shield Bash or Building Crescendo, which are insanely strong. But in general, the bronze and silver tier skills usually were negligible. Like, if you didn't have them, you weren't that sad about it. And then they were buffed. And they weren't buffed all at the same time, because, like, for example, there's this skill that accumulates crit chance whenever you start a fight, right? But earlier, it gave crit chance to your items. But we said that why is it like so? And because it discourages changing your items, maybe it should accumulate crit chance onto itself. And we also suggested that it could also work similarly with monster loot. And wouldn't you know, that skill actually accumulates crit chance onto itself now.
I also want to bring up that weren't there might be crazy, but weren't there other skills that did something similar? Like they just buffed the items that were currently on the board, and now they do the same thing. The skill itself retains it. I think there was some damage skills like that.
I cannot confirm that.
Yeah, I was whenever we were getting ready. I was getting ready for this episode. That came to mind, but I couldn't confirm it anywhere. So
Also, like we are weaving in between various topics here, but like we mentioned level ups already, and I think we have complained about level ups on like couples different occasions.
yeah, several. Pretty much every time they change them.
Yeah, and there was always something to complain about. There was always something that was not exactly sitting with us correctly. Now they have like restructured the whole idea of level up rewards. I guess we also possibly influenced that, and I really like the fact that level ups are something that you can expect and like build around. Although, like one thing that I noticed is that if you play dually, for example, it is less frequent that you can get upgrade to your core. Like unless you actually choose this upgrade your bronze item, upgrade your bronze or silver item, there won't be any opportunities for you to upgrade your core. Maybe level up rewards could be aligned towards heroes, as in like this is cool framework that we can work with. Every hero could have like their own separate level up path. If you are playing dually, maybe one of the options on some of the level ups could relate to your core, because you are sort of supposed to play the core when you are playing dually.
Yeah, supposed to is a strong word. The core has been shockingly, yeah, it's been strong in some instances, but it's been a lot weaker than I would have anticipated before the game launched. But yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying is kind of how I feel about it too. Like with Vanessa, one thing I want to bring up is they took away no pain, no gain, which I was complaining about in one episode.
Yeah.
And I so like, I complained about it and said it was kind of like, counterintuitive because you're spending health to get all this stuff on your weapons and then you can't trade it out or anything. So you get stuck into a particular weapon build. But now I kind of think maybe some version of that should be there because I don't know. It kind of gave her a little more identity, and I don't know. I've been missing it. So it's kind of same idea. Like every hero has their own.
It seems like you
Sort of.
cannot be pleased. Like
I know. Well, I'm a gamer. Come on.
okay, that's fair. But like Reynard himself is listening here, and like he's breaking his back to give the best game just for the two of us, and you are so ungrateful. How dare you?
I'm sorry. But the way you were talking about the skill tree, or not the skill tree, the level up reward made me kind of think of it like a skill tree almost, because in like some RPGs, every character has their own level up system
Yes.
versus some standardized thing. I don't know. That sounds pretty dang fun if you kind of treat it and think of it like that. But
yeah,
anyways.
that was my point. So, I mean, just to be clear here, this is us complaining, so the next patch can have those changes. Yeah, but like my idea was like this is really cool framework for the level up system, but maybe it could be adjusted for given heroes so they are not exactly the same across the board, but they are sort of similar. So this could be also another avenue of hero identity, their level up structure. But like I would still agree that some level ups should be the same. Like let's say on level 10 you are getting 3 enchantments, or like I think it's level 12 or 13 you get like upgrade your leftmost item or gold skill. Like those things I think should stay, but like those level ups where you get like an item, a monster loot, or gold could be more hero specific.
The level up stuff now too feels like before every time before it kind of felt like they didn't know what they were doing, like they were just trying to test something out. It sort of feels like they're like 80% there now,
Mm,
you know? Like they just need to tweak some stuff and then that's the system that'll be in the game forever, sort of, in some form.
yeah,
That's how I feel about this patch at least,
yeah.
with the level up.
Okay, so I think we have complained about level up enough. Reynard and Tempo, you know what to do. Right. But another thing that we have complained in the past, or, well, in particular about the last patch, was that we were rolling in gold. To be fair, getting a good economy this patch is much more demanding. Like, you need to make correct decisions to not actually wake up with zero gold in your bank and just, not be able to buy new items or new upgrades or whatever.
The economy is you have to actually use brain cells
Mm.
now. And that part of that's with the skills too, making them cost like 40 gold for a diamond is
Oh yeah.
feels good. I mean, it feels awful when you can't get it, but like I find myself in early days being like, okay, I have to do this so I have money to buy the diamond skills later or whatever, So
Yeah, that's my point. Like, money doesn't just come to you. You are not tripping over like gold bars over and over. You have to actually think what you want to do during your day. What events should you pick to not simply spend your money in one place at one time. And also, when I mentioned this gold bar, I have a complaint. For example, Outland Dervish has a gold bar, or like two of them on the board, right?
Yeah.
Why is gold bar bronze tier item? I mean, I assume there are more tiers of that item, but like, wouldn't it make more sense to be like for it to be gold exclusive, sort of like gold bar is gold and that's it?
I mean, it makes sense. I saw like a diamond gold bar because I went to Mr. Moo and went to the vault and raided it and leveled up a gold bar to diamond. But I never thought about how wrong that feels.
Yeah. So, I mean, we still could sort of like make it more like flavorful, but that would require some art. So let's say copper would be like copper coin, then silver could be like silver coin or whatever, then gold could be gold bar, and then diamond tier would be literal diamond.
Wait, you're kind of cooking with this idea, but I bet it's annoying to do that on the back end. But I think this needs to happen one day.
Yeah, but it would be fun, it would be flavorful.
Yeah.
Also, we have complained about the font. And maybe I did most of that complaining. But then again, in the last episode, or like one of the last episodes, we gave a lot of praise for the change of the font, like improvement of it. Yeah, we are the shadow government. We decide what happens in the bazaar.
We're the only people I might have seen complain about the font. Maybe I saw others, but yeah, people were too triggered by Lizard Dolly to think of anything else. I think that patch.
Yeah, possibly. Essentially, if you, our dear viewers, have something that you are not particularly happy about in regards to the bazaar, just leave a comment and we'll read that comment and then we'll complain about that thing in the next episode and then the Tempo team will change that. So, you know what to do.
If you want them to do the opposite of something, put that in the Reddit and then they'll do the opposite. That's what they said, where there's no exactly what not to do and they'll tell you to do it.
So it seems like Tempo has backed themselves into a corner. Because on one hand, Reddit is like doing this reverse engineering in terms of the development, and then we are simply like stating what needs to be done. And then I have been channeling Nostradamus because when we did that episode on ideas for future heroes, I have proposed, first of all, mechanic called Morph, which would transform items into other items during a fight or outside of it, whatever. And then we have learned that that actual mechanic was planned for Mac. I'm not kidding. Mac is going to have a mechanic called Transform, and I think we have established that Morph is a better name.
Yeah, I still think that. I'm gonna take that to my grave. But
Yeah, so that's another sort of complaint. So let's see what new patch brings. But yeah, apparently it's going to happen. And also, I suggested that Tiny could be an enchantment, as in shrinking an item by one size. So from medium to small, for example. And apparently that was also a planned mechanic, which was not really scrapped, but like pushed back, sort of put back on the drawing board. So, I mean, we are either like oracles from Delphi? I'm not sure how you pronounce that in English, but you know what I mean. So that's one possibility. Or we are actually above Reynard in terms of like hierarchy.
we're the Illuminati of the Bazaar.
Yeah.
Every time, just think of us. Every time you go up against like a build that counters your build exactly.
Yep.
That was us.
Yeah, we are pulling the strings.
Mainly non-head. I don't know. Like, I want to say something serious though. If anybody from Tempo is watching, like, you guys are cooking. Like, this game is better than I thought it would be, and it gets better every single patch. Like, I don't know. The patches are. I mean, we complain a lot and everything, but they're never really misses. Like, they're always making progress, right? And the patches are so huge. I don't know. I can't believe this game is this good. And I mean, I'm so excited for the beta. Like, I'm like a crack addict. Like, I'm shaking. I'm shaking thinking about playing the beta and getting to buy the battle pass and getting to, play like a full-fledged version of this game.
Yeah. So. Good job, Reynard. Good job, Tempo. I think everybody deserves a praise. Or praise without an article. Doesn't matter. That's it for today. Everything we have noticed, but possibly there were more complaints that we already forgot about. But if you remember those, you may put those in the comments. But besides that, you may also like, you may also subscribe. Those are things that free people of the planet Earth or the Bazaar or Pelago, wherever you come from, may do.
Jabalia, or wherever Pygmalion's from.
I think Jabalians is the name of the people, but not exactly the place where they come from.
They're all pacifists anyway, so
Wait,
we don't like them.
I mean, that's not factually true, but okay. Yeah, see you all on Thursday on Blake's channel, I suppose.
Yeah. See you there.
Bye.
See ya.